Hey everyone, thanks so much for filling out the questionnaire. I so look forward to learning more about you, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, and supporting you and celebrating with you, bringing your dreams into reality. This is my absolute passion, is really helping people get clear about what it is they want to create and experience in this world, and then teaching you the tools to make that happen. So welcome to the Radical Self-Love Workshop. This is going to be an amazing training for you because I've seen it just explode my clients, my own personal life, and of course my clients' lives and businesses. And so I've been on a journey, I've been on a quest most of my life. I've always wanted to find out, how do people become successful? How does this manifesting thing work? And I spent, many years as a Chinese medicine practitioner. I was doing acupressure. I worked in a massage therapy clinic. I studied with an acupuncturist, very interested in the mind-body-spirit connection. And the deeper and deeper I dug, years and years into research, I found that in order to effectuate results, to create change in your life or business, whether that be financial results, health results, relationship results, you need to be able to impregnate the subconscious mind to accept the goals and the visions that you desire. I mean, how many of you have set New Year's resolutions, have decided you want to do something, only to be disappointed later on? So my intention for this workshop and creating this body of work, this Take Your Power Back Now Radical Self-Love Workshop, is really to share with you what works. And I'll tell you a story. I'm a bit of a gypsy. If you're new to my work, you'll find very quickly that I love to travel. I love to fly by the seat of my pants and let life take me where I'm supposed to go. And I was very opposed to planning. And since implementing planning in my life, I've had dramatic, incredible results. One of them being attracting a phenomenal partner into my life, new business opportunities. And so I want to share with you the exact process. So here on this page below the video, you will find two PDFs, and I encourage you to download them and fill them out while you watch this video. So go ahead and download those and then come back. All right, so the first worksheet you have there is the Radical Honesty PDF. Radical Honesty. This is a concept that's very simple but profound. The hardest thing to do is to actually be honest with yourself. And I was asked this question by some TV producers recently. I've been taking my book, Take Your Power Back Now, around on a media tour. And these producers were asking me, Vanessa, how did you take your power back? And I thought to myself, holy smokes, I just wrote a book about this, but I actually have to think, how did I do it? And, when I found myself in this terrible relationship, I, was not happy with my job. I was working really, really hard for a company. I was terrified that I wouldn't make the same amount of money in my own passion, purpose-based, inspirational business. I had all these stories that, it would take me too long to generate the same kind of income. And that fear kept me stuck in this job for maybe 2 years longer than I really needed to be there. And it was draining the life force out of me. And I made great money. Some days $500 or $1,000 a day. I was selling Mops. I was doing these live product demonstrations, but it was not my purpose. And what I did was I took a radical honesty look at the areas of my life that were not working. And sometimes this is the hardest thing to do, to be honest with yourself about the things that aren't working. So we're going to cover step one is really taking a radically honest look at all of the areas in your life that are not complete. Because here's the deal. I'll tell you a story. I had this truck. I went on a date with a guy, left my dog in the car. The dog chewed the seatbelt. And it would take 8 weeks to get the part, transferred onto the island of Kauai, Hawaii, this very remote place where I lived for a year and a half. So I put it off, and I moved to California, and I was so busy moving, I put it off, and I put it off, and I put it off. But every time I walked into that truck, and I saw the seatbelt, chewed seatbelt, I would think, oh, I gotta get that done. Oh, I gotta get that done. So there are areas in your life which are not complete. And these could be financial areas, like doing your taxes. It could be in your home, a mess somewhere, a closet that you see every day and you think to yourself, oh, I'm gonna do that. Oh. And every time you see these areas in your life that are not complete, you have an energy leak. It drains your energy. And I was thinking to myself, when I first started on this, radical self-love journey several years ago, I had a big fat bubble on my shoulder. It looked like a third boob, okay? I got into an accident. and it developed this big fat lipoma on my shoulder, and I would hide it with my hair like this when I wore tank tops because it was so embarrassing. And every time I looked in the mirror, I would, have this conversation, this negative conversation. So this is a real opportunity for you to take your power back, to close these energy leaks. And it's so important if you're going to create that foundation, pull your energy in, get it close to you, and then you can focus more of it out to create your intentions and your goals. So on that sheet, what are the areas that you've been leaving things out that are incomplete? Really, do you have things to do in your car? Do you need to do your taxes? Do you need to file a divorce? Do you need to leave a relationship? What are these areas in your life that are still messy and incomplete? So take some time, fill that out. There's relationships, there's health, there's fun. Have you neglected to have fun in your life? Is your life full of work and no play? So what you want to do is fill that out, take some time, write all these places where you're losing energy. The next point is, now you're going to, rate these in the level of importance. So what is the priority? What's number 1, number 2, number 3? What are the big rocks in this whole list? And the third part is, take these top 3 priorities, go into your calendar this week, and schedule in time when you are going to work on these things to get them done. Because your mind is set up with this whole story that it's going to take too long, so you put it off and put it off. But if you plan it, guarantee you will get it done. If things don't get into your calendar, they won't get it done. You won't get it done. I know I'm like that. So I take Sunday nights and I schedule out my entire week. I plan in my times where I go to work out at the gym. I plan in times where I'm going to work. You plan in your client calls. Why not plan in time for you to work on these very important areas? And I promise, if you do this, don't just listen to me as a talking bobblehead here. Stop the video, do this exercise. It will bring you confidence because you will effectuate change. You will see, you'll start building momentum, and you'll start closing those leaks and stop having all that, I should do that, You won't have those conversations with yourself anymore. So that's part 1, radical honesty. Radical honesty. Part 2 is radical responsibility. Now, I read 2 phenomenal books. I highly recommend you read them. The first one was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's an oldie but a goodie, #1 personal development book in the world. And, why is it a goodie? Well, it's a goodie because he talks about planning, and he interviewed 50,000 of the world's top successful people, stories and events, and also the people who failed, and he gleaned a book about it. And he talks about planning and how important this is. Now, I never liked to plan. I hate planning. I was always a fly by the seat of my pants gypsy, and since I implemented it, astounding results. So the first book is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Second book I recommend is Outwitting the Devil. Another Napoleon Hill book, came out in 2011. His wife didn't want to publish it because it was so controversial. And this book really explains to you, how do you get rid of fear? How do you get rid of fear? Now listen, if you're not planning, planning is the way to command the mind to accept this new reality. And I'm so excited to share this with you. Now, when I read this book, something clicked in me. I made 3 plans. I made my husband plan, I made a business plan, and I made a health plan, and then a fun plan. I made 4, and now I have an art plan, so I got 5. So I suggest you, if you're going to do this for business, start with 1, a plan. So a plan begins this way. You start with a definite goal by a definite date. So if you want to do an income goal for your business, let's say, I, Julie, Rogers, have $10,000 in my bank account by this date. Maybe it's 30 days from now, 60, 90 days from now, whatever your goal is. Could be a year-long goal, but a definite goal with a date. That's the first part. The second part is, what are you willing to exchange in order to receive this goal? Because you can't have something for nothing. It's a law, like the law of gravity. So I said, my goal was a financial goal. I, Vanessa Simpkins, have XYZ amount of dollars by this date, and I'm willing to give in selling inspiration, transformational experiences, fun, adventures, and artwork, both my family and my own artwork. So what do you intend to exchange in order to receive what it is you want? Maybe it's your time, your knowledge, your wisdom. The third part, now this is where you get into the planning. And here's where people get tripped up. Most people don't even allow themselves to want what they want because they don't know how it's going to happen. Now, this is not your job. This is the universe's job to bring you the how. Your part is to get really clear on the what. And I'm really going to invite you to be radically honest with yourself here. This is it. You need to know what you want in order to get it. You don't know how to get to Denver if you don't know that you want to go to Denver, right? How are you going to drive to Denver or buy a plane ticket if you don't know where you want to go? Very clear, concise, tight goal. Next is what you intend to exchange. And the third part is the plan. Now, you already have some ways in your mind that you've been thinking about doing, but you haven't effectuated yet. They're kind of ideas. You already know them, but you've not written them down. So important to write this down. So I put for my income goal, my plan is to speak to some of my coaching programs at $1,000, $10,000, $30,000 each. So just two little sentences, one little paragraph. Boom. The second point was build my email list to 100,000 subscribers and sell, information products, create passive income. I've always wanted to do that. Third part was become a celebrity everyone wants to have on their show. I've been doing some media tour and media morning shows, which has been a lot of fun. People are actually calling me now out of the blue, which is wild. The fourth one is to sell my own prints, my photography, and my father and my grandfather's artwork, giclées, on major sites around the world. And there was another one. What was the other one? I'm not remembering it right now, but there's 5. Okay, 5 little. So you write those down, and then you sign it at the bottom. Now here's how to make this all come about. Oh, I'm going to give you one more tip. Okay, this is really where things get interesting. So I made a business plan. I made a man plan, and my man plan was I, Vanessa Simpkins, am happily engaged to the most amazing, wonderful man. We're so in love by October 11th, 2015. I'm thrilled. That was my goal, definite date, and what I intended to exchange was by being open, loving, honest, real, vulnerable, giving and receiving love, stepping outside my comfort zone, all of these things. The plan was to go on all these dating sites that I never had time to do, call these matchmakers and date these guys. My plan was to have 3 dates a week, see which one I liked the best, and go on music concerts, paddleboarding, doing all these fun outdoor adventures. That was the plan. Signed it. Now, what you want to do with this plan is to read it every morning, noon, and night. Read it out loud. This is from Napoleon Hill. Yeah, this stuff works. I'm a big fan of modeling. Do what works. Don't make it up. Really just do what works. And visualize yourself enjoying that now. So I would visualize myself with a wedding ring. I would visualize myself getting married. I would visualize myself in the kitchen cooking with kids. I would have this emotional experience of it now. Now, I know you've probably written 10,000 lists. You've probably done this experience before. So what? Okay? I'm inviting you to do it in a new way. Things shifted for me when I went here to Sedona. I'm in Phoenix right now. But I was in Sedona about a month ago. And I went to this very feminine vortex of cathedral rock. And actually, I was at a juice bar, saw this book, Daniela Port's book called The Desire Map. Great book. It was chattering to me. I picked it up and I opened it up and it said, instead of writing down a list of what you want, why don't you write a list of how you want to feel? Because you're after the goal because you want a certain feeling. You think that the money is going to make you feel successful. You think that the relationship is going to make you feel loved. All these things. In actuality, it's the feelings, having those feelings, that calls it into your experience through the law of attraction. It's like the law of gravity. So I wrote down in Sedona how I wanted to feel in my intimate relationship. Claimed, creative, honored, ravished, loved, all of this whole list. And I went to this very sacred, vortex, sat down at the sunset, and just put this out, put out this feeling, the list, owning, having the feelings now. I did it for my relationship, I did it for my business, I did it for my health plan, and what do you know? So here's what you do, right? You have your plan now, you read it every morning. On Sundays, you take out those big rocks, right? Let's say you have 5 little plans of what you want to do, and you start putting in your calendar, actually going to go and do those things. You got to plan it. You got to put it in your calendar. Take action on it. So as you're taking action on your plan now, and you're reading this, and you're feeling these feelings, the mind gets it. The mind's like, okay, reticular activating device turns on, and it starts filtering out all the billions and trillions of bytes of information that you're receiving every second, and pulls in the aligned things that you need, the clients, the customers, the opportunities. They come to you. Now, you don't get to decide that. That's the universe bringing it to you. It's not the how that you got to focus on, it's the what. And holy smokes, I met this guy. I had done everything on the list. I had gone to all the sites. I called the these matchmakers. I'd done it all. I went out and went to a music concert, and I decided, I'm going to let it go. I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to have fun. And boom, he walked right into my life. So there's another key for you. Really this detachment, this letting go. And I work a lot. I have a system that I teach my clients much more in depth about, this letting go process and being in the feeling of having. This is really what's going to pull it in. So my invitation to you is to actually do this. Take some time right now. Take 20 minutes, 30 minutes, after this video, fill out your, close the energy leak, step 1, radical honesty, do that worksheet. Step 2, do the plan. Write it out to yourself. You keep it with you. You can put it in a laminated even and keep it with you underneath your pillow. Read it every morning, noon, and night. Visualize yourself having it now. And then also write out that list of how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel in your business, about your business, in your intimate relationship? And read that out. And when you're reading that out, you come into that vibration of it. Very, very powerful. So I hope you'll take me up on this invitation. This is a radical self-love workshop. It will absolutely catapult your results in every area of your life. It's the foundation for success. It's how do you command the mind to accept your goals and visions and start bringing them into your life. And I can tell you what, it happens fast if you do it. You just have to make a decision. You're worth it. Your happiness is worth it. Your life, your children, your family is worth it. Do something different. What do they say is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And my invitation for you, if you'd like support, if you'd like accountability, if you'd like to connect with a community of just amazing rock star entrepreneurs, women and men who are really going for their dreams, then apply here on the page. There is a place where you can apply for my 10K and 30-day program. It's a 90-day accountability program. We have a Facebook group and weekly calls where I help you put radical honesty, radical responsibility, making that plan, and radical self-love into action, right? Taking action on your plan and watch it, come through, whether that's financial goals, relationship goals, or health goals. It's all a part of your success. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please stop it right now and put it into action, and then share with me your results. I cannot wait to celebrate them with you. I love you. Thank you so much for being here, a part of the community. Thank you for taking time to fill out the survey. It helps me help you. I love you, and I'll see you real soon. Mwah.